What is up? What is up? What is up, y'all? It's another day, another time, and another week for Real Talk Monday. So, before we get started, though, I want to go on and start it off with a little something like this.
What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? What's up with you? What is up? What is up? What is up? It's only up from here. What is up? What is up? What is up? Let's go. What is up? What is up? What is up? Real talk. Real talk. What is up? What is up? What is up? Real talk. Real talk. Monday. Tune in to Real Talk Monday.
Y'all, listen here, listen here, listen here. This is Real Talk Monday. I am here with my very special guest, my good friend and my sister, Miss Lynn White, is in the building. Y'all are now
Woo!
listening to the Spin Award nominated Real Talk Monday, and I have the Spin Award nominated in many categories. And I do mean many, 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 many categories. And the bird, man, y'all better put some respect on her name. She nominated many, 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 many categories. Miss Lynn White. So how are you doing, sis? How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm great, James. Thank you so much for this honor. I'm doing wonderful. It's Monday. It's marvelous Monday, so I made it through the weekend, so I'm doing great.
Exactly. Exactly. That's it. That's it. That's it. So before we get started too much, y'all, before I let my guest introduce themselves a little bit and before we get started with these questions, I just want y'all to know the reason why We'll Talk Monday is at the place where we are at right now is not only because of God and not only because of many other people, but it is really because of this woman right here, Lynn White. Like when I tell you, my sister will push me, will make me do better, will like call me out when I ain't doing what I need to be doing. Like, is not afraid to call me out. Is not afraid to let me know. Like, look, bro, you need to level it up. You need to do better, bro. You need to try this. You need to try that. And I appreciate her so much to the point to where you all, a lot of y'all know that the first big interview that We'll Talk Monday had was with Miss Evelyn Turpin AG. But what a lot of y'all don't know is that one of the reasons why we got that interview is because of this woman right here.
Oh.
So look, I will always be indebted to her. That is my sister for life. Can't nobody say
Yes.
anything bad about her. Like I'm always gonna go hard when it comes to her. So that's just the type of love that I have for my sister right here. So at this point, enough with that sentimental stuff. We're gonna let my sister introduce herself at this time, and we're gonna go on there.
Well, good evening, everybody. Again, I take this as a pleasure and an honor to be a guest on Real Talk Monday with your boy James. And shout out, kudos to you, James. Also, he ain't said it, but I say it after I introduce myself. But of course, you all know my name's Lynn White. AKA Lady Lynn Live. I am a radio announcer. I am a radio station owner. I am the mother of two beautiful daughters that are now both in college. Oh my God. And so I've been doing radio for going on, this is my 11th year. Like James said, there's I don't want to bore you all with the formalities of what I've done.
For them. They need to put some respect on your name. For them. Let's go.
I am a veteran of, a lot of people don't know, I served in the military for 4.5 years, the United States Navy. So I am a veteran. I've been the radio station manager of AM station, and that was about 7 years until the owner died. And when the owner died, and before then, Let me tell y'all, I gotta give kudos and shout outs to Miss Stephanie Williams McDonald, a dear friend, a radio cohort in the industry. She came to me, and I tell you, God always has something in plan in store. We don't know what it is, and we don't know why He does things, but He knows, and He prepared. He laid a table before me before I even stepped my feet into that arena. Stephanie came to me in 2000 and I want 18 because yeah, 2018, and she says, Lynn, I've looked at you and you work really hard, but you're working for someone else. She said,
Mm,
you need to do
mm,
something for your own self. And I'm like, well, Stephanie, I'm not ready. You know how somebody, you know how the mama birds try to push the babies out the nest and say you can fly?
mm.
Well, that's what kind of Stephanie did to me. She was in 2018. She said, Lynn, you're working hard for someone else. You need to work that hard for yourself. So in January, matter of fact, January 1st, 2019, I launched my own station, which is WLTJ, Total Inspiration Radio.
Come
Woo,
on.
yay. I'm excited about that. And so with that, I am also, a lot of people don't know because I try to keep it incognito. I am a manager of several groups. Yeah, and so that's a little bit about me. Like I said, I don't want to bore them with all those formalities, but
No,
yes,
boy,
that
them.
is
Can you
me
put some
in a
respect on your
nutshell.
name? So, y'all, as y'all can see, we are not dealing with the regular degular on We'll Talk Monday tonight. Like this girl, when I tell you her resume is long, it is long. So it is an honor and a privilege to even have her on here on the show. So let's get started into these questions.
All
First off,
right.
first off, the way that we met is so crazy. We
Mhm.
actually met last year on an app called Clubhouse.
Yes. James, can you believe it's
And
been a year? Oh my God.
man, I can't believe that. And like
Hmm.
as soon as we met, like we immediately clicked.
Yeah.
We immediately clicked. Like that was like my fam from day one. And we always had that connection from jump.
Yeah.
And not only does she do radio, but she is a basketball fanatic as well. That's what a lot of y'all don't
Yes.
know.
Yes. I actually played for, well, I played the last few years of elementary school because in Chicago school was different. We went through kindergarten through 8th grade at the same school. So the last few years I played basketball in elementary school, and then I played the first 2 years in high school. Yes. I
Like I
was short.
said, like I
So y'all
said,
know y'all know I was the point and shooting guard. So yeah.
so let's go into these questions. When I
Okay.
say the word gospel music, what is the
Hmm.
first thing that comes to your mind?
Well, for me, the word gospel music, the phrase gospel music is my life. Whew, I was born and raised into gospel music. I remember on Saturday mornings when it was time to get up and clean because we had been to school Monday through Friday. So Saturday was cleanup time around our house. And my mom didn't have to tell us because we knew where it was a key signal. If you heard that gospel music playing in their kitchen, that means it's
It's
time to
showtime.
get up.
Exactly.
Time to get up and do
This ain't
those
no drill.
chores. Yes. And so, y'all, I have never professed to be a singer, but I can carry a tune. I was in many
You can
choirs
sing.
growing up.
You can
I can't
sing.
sing. No, no, no. I grew up in the youth choir, then from the youth choir to the adult choir. I was in the recording choir. And then when I went into the military first, after high school, and after high school I then went into college. When I entered the University of Illinois, I was in, we call it the Black Chorus. It was University of Illinois Black Chorus. So I
Right.
sang in that. And then as well as my church home choir up until I sang about up until about 5 years ago. And so in the process of me singing, um, I joined a gospel. They asked me to join this gospel recording group, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't have no voice. But like I said, I could carry the alto note a little bit. If they give it to me, I can carry it a little bit. So that's what gospel music means to me. That's my life. It's my life. I don't know nothing else.
I feel that. I feel that. So, how did you get started in radio?
Okay, that's an interesting story. All right, so you know how when you're in college and you're young and you don't know kind of where you want to go, you like, I like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Well, my major was nursing when I first went to school. Matter of fact, when I was in the military, I was considered a nurse and a hospital corpsman. That was the title, the job, the school that I went in. So I did that for 4 years. And when I got out, actually in the military, oh my God, I saw some horrible things. And I thought I liked, I do like taking care of people. But once I seen the blood and the dead bodies and all that, I said, maybe this is something I don't want to do for the rest of my life.
Right,
So when
right,
I was in college, I ventured out and started going into the college radio station and the TV station. I actually started, you wouldn't believe this, but they used to have, you have volunteer work you had to do when you worked at the radio station. So a lot of times on the TV show they needed camera operators, and so I would volunteer to work behind the scenes operating the camera. And so then my interest, like I said, sparked in college. With the college shout out to PCTV radio, 89.1 in Champaign Parkland College. That's where I got my start in radio as a student, filling in for shows and all that good stuff. And so I did a few more things after I got out of school, but for some reason my heart was drawn to radio. I actually started at the AM station as sales. I wanted to go into radio and be an announcer. I took a few, classes and, learned the background of broadcasting and all that good stuff. And like I said, it was funny how it worked out, James, because um, the radio station owner called me, and I was doing stuff at a volunteer radio station, and he was like, I really like what you're doing over there. Come over here and check us out. And I'm like, okay. I came in as sales, and that's how I got started. I started my show. I think it was 2011 is when I launched my. I was actually, and I got to tell you how I got my name, Lady Lynn Live. I was doing some volunteer work in St. Louis, Missouri. I was trying to know all the ins and outs of gospel music, and so there was this opportunity to serve at the Missouri Gospel Announcers Guild. And lo and behold, who would I be working for, interning for? None other than the great Dr. Bobby Jones. So that's how I got
I
my
was going to get
start.
into that. I was going to get into
Yes.
that.
So yeah, that's how I got my start in radio.
So, since you done touched on Dr. Bobby Jones, let's go into that, the relationship
Okay.
with him.
Yes. Okay. So like I said, it was the guilds were around. This was right when Bishop Al Hobbs passed away. I had started getting into the guilds, and like I said, I joined the Missouri Gospel Announcers Guild, and I had many opportunities. People called it a gopher, but I looked at it as an opportunity. I did a lot of stuff, volunteering, and then I had the chance to be right up under the right wing of Dr. Bobby Jones. I served as their secretary. I served as their administrative assistant. And with that, I got a chance to meet, oh my God, so many people. Karen Clark Sheard, Marvin Sapp,
Come
Donald
on.
Lawrence, Vicky, just, and the list goes on and on. So yes, and yeah, that's how yeah, and so a lot, working with him, I learned how they did the showcase, and I learned how they did the TV show. And that, when I came on board, that was when they were transitioning from BET. A lot of people thought that was the end of Dr. Bobby Jones on TV, but he actually launched his own show on Impact TV, which is still being recorded in Nashville. On Saturdays and Sundays, he does a live broadcasting, taping for his show. And so, yes, that's when, yeah. So that's how
See,
that
I
came
didn't
about.
know that. I didn't know that his show was still going on because
Yes,
I thought
yes,
it was over.
yes. On Roku TV or Fire Stick, all you do is search Impact Network. Dr. Bobby Jones comes on Saturday and Sundays. And
Okay,
he's still
definitely.
actually taping. He's still actually taping for that.
I'm definitely gonna have to check that out for sure.
Yes.
Look, so y'all look. As I said, she's giving me information that I didn't even know. Uh, So, next question to you would be, how did you get into Quartet?
Okay. Whew. All right. Again, my mom listened to gospel all the time. We grew
Right.
up in gospel music, and one of the forms that we listened to was Quartet, Lee Williams, Harvey Watkins, the Carrington Spirituals. I heard all of that growing up because that's what my mom listened to. And so, I want to say about 6 years ago, a little, well, they're not little, but a group by the name of Tiny Foster and them Saints. I was doing radio and I was doing some interviews, and he kind of reached out to me. He was like, Lynn, I'm looking for a manager, and I heard you had the goods. I'm like, oh my God, no. I had
Yes, he
it's
does.
funny. It's funny because when I first started managing, and I don't tell a lot of people I manage because I just don't. I started off managing the group that I was singing with. I got a opportunity to get them on the TV taping for Dr. Bobby Jones, and after that, I kind of stepped back from managing, and so about 3 years, I started off with Tiny Foster. Then after that, a group out of Saginaw, Michigan, came to me and they were like, "Well, we heard you manage, and I had been doing some things working with the group. If people know me, I have a heart for the independent artists. So not just in quartet, but just in gospel music. Period. I'll play the music where other DJs won't play, and that was just my. I said, God, what do you require of me to excel me in radio? What do I, what can I give in return for what you give to me? And so, the Lord, came to me and said, just help the underdog. And so that was one of the things. I had a heart for helping independent gospel artists. And so, like I said, the group out of Saginaw, Michigan came to me and asked me, to help. I did was doing some things helping them, and they asked me to manage them. So that's how I came about into Quartet.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Yes.
So, next question to you would be, what has been one of your most funny memories or most exciting experiences as
Hmm.
far as doing everything you do, as far as with radio,
Uh-huh.
managing, all of that? What has been one of your most
Oh my God.
experience?
Oh my God. I have so many. Oh my God. We call them bloopers.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because one thing with radio is the difference between radio and TV is if you're on TV and you're taping, you can gotta kind of go back if you make a mistake and go back and erase it and
Right.
retape. On radio, what's said, you can't take it back. So one
Mm.
of the funniest things was as a program manager, um, I was programming a show and I was programming my show, and at that time I was doing R&B because I was kind of doing a little bit. I actually started on the R&B side, and then
Wow.
migrated into my show in gospel. But I was programming my show. And I thought I had it all set. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be a dynamic show. It's gonna be hot. Ooh, I can't wait to listen to it. And I had programmed in my R&B show for my gospel show. And when I turned the radio on, I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, and I'm hearing something that. So James, it was so funny because I was on my way to church because I used to come on Sunday mornings. I had the detour and actually miss church and go in and do the show live because it was playing R&B music when it was supposed to be gospel. So yes,
Gospel. Oh man.
so
Oh
yeah, that was
man.
one of my favorite funniest moments. And there's so many more. But one of my, did you say one, what was the other part of the question, was one of
What is
my
one of your
difficult
funniest
moments?
moments as far as managing a group?
Okay,
What is
for
one of those?
one of my funniest moments in managing. Oh my god. Let's see. Um, Oh, a lot of times the group that I work with now, when they're singing and ministering, me as the manager, they always have their eyes on me. They're looking at me to see my reaction or whatever. And
Yep.
so one of the funniest moments was, they were spaced out. They were actually singing and ministering, and one of the guys that was singing top, he was just doing his own thing, and I'm recording the group, and I'm looking, and I kept saying, well, how am I only seeing two members? Because he was way over in the corner doing his thing, and I kind of did like a head signal, and he jumped. He jumped from one side of the stage to the other, and it was so funny, and I caught it on tape. So and I laughed. I'm like, oh my god. So I just kind of, now I kind of watch, because my facial expressions, because they looking at, a lot of times I forget that they looking at me, and I'm like, I might be doing something else, and they looking, and they thinking they're doing something wrong, but it's just my face. So I gotta kind of
Exactly.
watch my face when they're up ministering. Yeah.
I can be honest. I'm guilty of that with my mother.
Uh-huh.
Like I will, after I get through preaching, my
Mm-hmm.
mother will tell you as soon as I sit down. Anybody else can tell me, "Oh, you did a great job. You did a great job." I'm looking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "All right, where's she at? Where's she at?"
Uh-huh.
If I
Uh-huh.
don't get like a thumbs up or something from her, I'm like, "Okay, all right, I will."
Yeah.
I'm was
Yeah.
like tonight. Hold on, like what I'm messing up at? What did I do wrong?
And then another funny moment, and I just thought about this, is I'm recording, because I'm always recording. We have a professional videographer that does the recording for the group, but I usually record so I can go back and look and give feedback and all that.
Right.
I recorded, and I got so into the song, I'm singing during the whole video, and they was like, "Ooh, somebody was off," and I'm like, "Oh, that was me." Because I didn't say them. I'm like, yeah. And I was so, the group was like, oh, wait a minute. They thought it was somebody in the group, but it was me.
No, man. Phew,
Oh, so yeah,
I
that
can
was one
imagine
of the
that. I
funniest
can imagine
moments.
that. But so tell us a little bit about these awards that you were nominated for the Spin Awards.
Oh
Like,
my God.
how did
Okay.
you get
All
into that?
right. First of all, I got to give a shout out. And I'm going to go back to the Spin Awards, but I got to give a huge shout out to the Music Love Awards, the CEO, Miss Frances Riley. Right now, my group is nominated for Quartet of the Year. Woo woo. I am alumni of the Music Love Awards. I've won for Radio Personality of the
Come
Year.
on, come
I've
on,
won
come
for
on.
Radio Station of the Year. So now I'm an alumni, and I'm so honored that my group is currently nominated for Quartet of the Year. So I'm an alumni. So what I do is I go back and volunteer my time at the award show for other people that are being nominated. So I got to give a huge shout out to Francis Riley and Kevin Riley for just even letting me play a part in the Music Love Awards. So right now, for the 20, and I gotta give this, even though sometimes things don't work in our favor, it's still God working on our behalf. I was a nominee for a Stellar Award this year, for Radio Station of the Year in
Right,
internet. And shout out to everybody. It was over 44 internet stations nominated this year, for Radio Station of the Year. I'm just honored to even be on the ballot. So I
right.
was, a nominee for the 2022 Stella Awards. Um, I am also a previous Final Four of the 2016 Stella Awards. I have a Stella plaque that I wear proudly on my wall. Making it to the finals
Come
in
on, come on. I
2016.
told
So
y'all, put
yes.
some respect on her name. Put some respect on her name.
And this year, oh my gosh, shout out to Appointed and all of her team. at the Spin Awards in Augusta. They're coming out of Augusta, but the Spin Awards is in Atlanta, Illinois. James, I am in 10 categories. Whoever nominated me, thank you, thank you, thank you for thinking of little old me. But oh my God, I was overwhelmed, and I'm just like, oh my God. I am a previous winner of Spin Awards. I got the Inspirational Award. I got Radio Station of the Year 2 years ago for my little old station. WLTJ, Total Inspiration Radio, brought home that trophy. Yay. And so this year, oh my God, I was nominated in an early morning show, evening show, radio announcer of the year, radio station of the year,
Come on.
outstanding station of the year, oh my God, small market announcer. I can't even remember all the categories, but there are so many other worthy people on that ballot that I share with, and those are my core hearts in the industry. And huge shout out. I want to give a shout out to Jonas Ross. I want to give a shout out to
Yes.
Jermaine Mickey. I want to give a shout
Yes.
out to Lady Drina. Shout out to Malachi, and shout out to DL Marshall and Bam, all my cohorts and everybody on the ballot. It's just an honor and a blessing to be among people that are doing radio. A shout out to James, y'all. He's on the ballot.
Yes. Two of my
Woo!
shows made the
Yes,
ballot. A
yes, for
show that I
podcast.
executive produce and
Yes.
this show.
Yes, and then I got to give
I'm
a shout out to my people in Kentucky. Oh, they're on the ballot as well for podcast of the year and podcast. And now just so many, like I said, it's just a blessing to be among so many great people that are doing the same thing, that are striving for the same goal. It's just an honor.
right. Yes. Yeah,
Mhm.
ma'am. Like I told y'all, like this woman right here helped me in so many ways. Hannah, my former co-host, will tell you we used to reach out to her all the time to get advice,
Mhm.
and she would kind of lead us in the right direction on which direction we needed to go. And to be honest, Will Talk Monday would not be Will Talk Monday without what she did behind the scenes.
Oh, I'm about to cry, James. Y'all know
Like
I'm a little
y'all,
crybaby.
exactly. Like y'all just don't know how much she helped us behind the scenes,
Mm.
and I believe in giving flowers where they are due.
Oh
So
my,
y'all
thank you so much.
definitely, whatever y'all do, go to the spinawards.com/hashtag vote and vote for her in every
No.
one of them categories that she is on, y'all.
Vote for your
It's
favorite. I'm just like I said, James. Whether I win or not, it's just an honor to be
gonna be,
recognized.
yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's what I'm at with this. I'm like, I said just to be on the ballot
Mm-hmm.
this year,
Mm-hmm.
and with us just pretty much getting started, we're like 2 years in, and to be on
Yeah.
a ballot of this level, like I
Yes.
told the girls of the Godly View, it's an honor just to be on the ballot. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
we would like to go to the next round, but
Mm-hmm.
it's an honor just to be on the ballot. So
Yes.
y'all
Yes, I
definitely,
tell James. I often say, we think about the prayer of Jabez, and we ask the Lord to enlarge our territories. But a lot of times, when we do that, we are not expecting what God. It says, "Be careful what you pray for," because
you
when
gonna
God
get
God does things, He doesn't do things haphazardly. We are God of omnipresence, of infinity, of just so many blessings, and
right.
we just think on little things, but God has a greater plan in store. So,
Man, woof, you done hit on so much that you just don't know. And yeah, we'll talk Monday. Y'all stay tuned because some of that stuff that she just hit on, y'all gonna hear about later on. But y'all, this woman right here. So last question I have for you before we end this show on the night is, what advice would you give someone that is wanting to do what you are doing? What advice would you give them?
Okay. My advice, and I tell this all, matter of fact, I was just talking about it earlier on Clubhouse. I was encouraging somebody. They were saying that there's no radio stations playing gospel anymore. One of the things I noticed during COVID was we had an increase of so many internet stations. And, a lot of people say, well, radio is dead. No, radio's not dead.
That's got a
I
different way
think that's
about
one of the media avenues that's never going away. As long as you get in your car, whether it's you got a cassette player, a CD player, a site, Sirius radio, XM radio. Radio's not going anywhere. We're here to stay. And one of the things, few things that I would advise someone is, they think this is easy. Oh my God.
it.
It's radio is not easy. It's just more than just getting behind a mic and introducing a song. You gotta prep, you gotta do your playlist, you gotta do your interviews, you gotta make sure your timing is right. And if you own a radio station, you gotta have support. It's not, you're paying out, and then no revenue coming in. That's hard on you. And so some of the advice that I would give someone that's thinking about doing this is just include God, and no, not just not include God, put God first and let him direct your
Amen.
path. Ask God, seek God, when doing something. Even when I interview James, I ask God to be in the midst of the interview, because there might be someone listening out there that might be listening to your broadcast or listening to your show that might, needed to hear just one simple word from you. I always say at the end of my shows, I hope that I've played a song or said a word that might made a difference in someone's life. I don't want to just be doing this in vain. It's not a hobby for me. Like I said earlier, it's my life. And so you got to do it wholeheartedly. You got to be sincere. You got to be open. You got to be honest. You got to be willing to have tough skin, because it's not easy. Everybody that you come in contact with ain't gonna be so nice to you. You're not gonna always get a yes when you ask somebody, well, let me talk to you, or let me interview you, or what I'm saying, and you're gonna have many sleepless nights. Like I said, people think radio is easy. It's not. If you have your own station, even if you have your own show, you got to prep for it. And a lot of times I've had to
Amen
put
to that.
my personal stuff on the back burner, because I knew the time I had to dedicate to radio. So I would just tell people you got to have tough skin, you got to have patience, and you got to be able to withstand the test of times.
Yo, those are some powerful, and I
Mm-hmm.
do mean powerful words of advice from a woman that is seasoned in this, y'all. See, is not a rookie to this. So look, for my followers, tell them where they can find you at. Where they can
Okay.
find you at.
All right. But I go by Lady Lynn Live, so all my social media handles are, if you check out Lady Lynn Live on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, just search Lady Lynn Live. You should be able to find me. Sorry about that. Somebody was trying to call. If you go, I have a website. My website is www.ladylandlive.wix.com /triple L1. And that's the name. Oh, I gotta give I forgot this. I gotta give a huge shout out to my label, to my management company, Triple L Productions. So
Come
yeah,
on,
and you
Triple
can
L
also, yes,
Productions.
yes. So yeah, Lady Lynn Live, just search me. Even on Clubhouse, y'all. I'm on there. I have a couple of rooms. Y'all might see me let my hair down and be myself, be Lynn White for a chance on Clubhouse. But yes, that's my social media handles. And my shows are archived even on YouTube. I started a YouTube channel, so my shows will be archived on YouTube as well.
Yes, yes, yes. And y'all definitely, we appreciate her for coming in tonight. Look, y'all, this will not be the last time y'all hear from her. She will definitely be back. And I can't wait. Like I said, this one right here helped me in more ways than one, and I definitely appreciate her. So,
Mm-hmm.
you all, as we close out tonight, I want to leave you out with this. Sometimes our disappointments are nothing more than God's appointments, meaning some things that we looking at as bad, God is only turning it around for our good.
Oh,
Stay,
yes.
be blessed, and be a blessing to someone else. And we will see
Yes.
y'all next week. And P.S. Y'all, tune in on the podcast. It'll drop at midnight. So make sure y'all tune in to the podcast at midnight on every major podcast station. All right.
Go vote for Real Talk Monday.
Yes,
Yay!
yes. Please go vote, y'all. Please go vote.
Yes.
It
Yes.
is, like I said, it is an honor just to be on that ballot. Podcast of the year, We'll Talk Monday.
Yes.
Podcaster of the year, James Glover the third. Also, you can go vote for the Godly View for Podcast of the year, and then
Awesome.
for Podcasters of the year, the Godly View Crew.
All
So,
right.
and
Kudos.
also vote for in all 10 categories that y'all see her in. Make sure y'all vote for her on all of your favorite stations. Also, I see that we have another Spin Award nominee on here, Miss Laditra Crump. Make sure y'all
Yes.
vote in her category as well, y'all.
Yes.
It is just a blessing to be surrounded by so much greatness.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I many times, James, I just want to, a lot of times we want earthly honor and glory. I just want the Lord to say, "Well done, thy good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a few things. Come on up, and I will make you ruler over many."
Amen. That's it.
Amen.
Like, I just want to hear him say, you've done everything I asked.
Yes.
You've I don't want to come back to him with anything left in me. I want to be
Hmm.
empty when I
Yes.
see him face to face.
Yes.
I want to hear him say, "Look, you didn't hold back. Everything I told you to do, you did it." So
Yes.
God bless y'all and have a continue to smile upon y'all. Tune in next week. Well, not next week, but week after next. Tune in. We have
Hmm.
another great interview for you, and y'all definitely don't want to miss that. We have some great things coming for y'all with We'll Talk Monday. But in order to find that out, y'all got to stay tuned. Y'all never know when I'm gonna make the big announcement about some other stuff that is going on with We'll Talk Monday. God is just blessing in more ways than one. All right. So love y'all.
Peace.
Peace.